Okay, so today's topic is learning your strengths. And it's hard to learn your style, um, but I truly believe that learning your strengths, however, is very fun. And it is a way of setting you apart. Because obviously, when you get this way of having a style in terms of casting, like if you want to be very color caster focused, sorry, no mind. Very pick and ban focused or micro focused, macro focused, then you will be able to set yourself apart because obviously people know the Fisher as being someone who knows a lot about pick and ban phase. People know that Crepo is someone who knows a lot about supports in that sense. And just learning your style and developing that style is very hard. But a key part of learning your style and mastering that is learning your strengths. And that, at least in my opinion, is very fun. And it helps you so much. Because, at least for me, it gives me a shining point in casts where I can feel like, oh, this is where I'm really good at. This is where I can really contribute. Obviously, besides my good analysis, my good commentary, and my good analytical skills, I obviously feel like that when I can use my strengths with the things that I feel like I'm strong at, then that gives me a good mindset going into cast because I know, well, at least for me, I know that I'm really good at being a hype caster, someone like Kobe. And I might not be like the best caster in terms of analytical skills. I might not have the best game knowledge. But at least I know how to hype people. And that is always something that I know as a caster, that is my strength. And obviously you can work on everything else. Obviously I can become way better at my analytical skills. I can develop that, but just having your strengths known and knowing what it is always the first step in becoming a better caster and learning your style and developing that style. So, how do you recognize your style? Well, first off, what's your interest in a cast? Like, do you feel interested in pick and ban phase? Do you prefer to talk about top lane? Are you a support main like Crepo that wants to talk about all these small niche things in the support role? What do you like? What do you want to master? What's your interest? That is always some good questions to ask yourself in order to become a better caster and to improve or at least find your strengths somehow. And what do you feel good at? Do you feel like you're good at the pick and ban phase? Are you good at talking about how people can manipulate the waves? Are you good at talking about how the teams utilize their own playstyle? Are you good at hype like me? If you feel like you're good at something, then you need to work on it. And you also have to decide, do you want to work on it? Because obviously strengths are not something you only get if you just cast. You need to work on it because shoutcasting is a delicate art and it requires practice, and even more practice. You need to work for it or you won't really get to a point where you're really good. And you won't really develop as a caster. So you can learn from the pros. Obviously, you can look up to them. Like, do you want to be really good at pick and ban phase like the Fishu, Or like me, do you know that you're good at being a hype machine? Do you have a lot of good energy, which is something that I know that I have? I look up to someone like the Physio because obviously I want to become really good at being a colorcaster as him. But I also look up to someone like Kobe and Pyrotechnics because Pyro isn't a colorcaster, but I know that he knows how to hype people. He knows how to use his energy really well, and I look up to that because that is something that I know is my strength, and I want to work on that. So obviously I look at how they do it, how they control their strength, which is something that I have to work on for myself. So you look up to them. Do you want to do it like them? Do you want to become a copycat of Division? Nobody wants a copycat, so you need to work on it to do it your own way. Like, if you want to work on pick and ban phase, you don't want to do it like the Physio does it, because yes, he might be really good at it, but you don't want to step in the shadow of that guy. You want to develop your own personality, and when you get your own personality, then you get your strengths, because people know, or at least I know, that my personality is being super serious with a lot of high energy. And that is always what I can really bring to a cast at least, because this strength makes me look good, and I work on it, and I intend to master it at some point. I'm not that good at it yet, but I'm still working on mastering, containing, and just using my energy at the right points. But really, in order to get to a point where you can really become so good at learning your strengths and using it, you need to practice the basics. In order to if you as a caster go in and practice all the hard stuff, go to do all of the really hard stuff where you need to be on and you need to really focus, then it's usually very, very hard, and it's usually not something that really comes as a constructive way of improving. You want to practice the basic stuff, and then you can practice the hard stuff afterwards. Practicing the basic stuff is always the right way to go around doing stuff, but obviously you want to learn your strengths. Just look inside you. You want to look at what you feel like you're good at. You want to look at what people, perhaps what people compliment you for. Like, do people say that you're good as a colorcaster? Ask them what exactly they mean. Are you good at pigment face? Or are you good at talking about how people use their abilities? Like, find out what you're strong at, develop that, expand it and make it more broad, because you don't want to like widen it down and become a very narrow caster. And then obviously, once you have done that, you will find out that synergy in a cast is key, because you want to make your partner look good, and looking good is always like at least 60-70% of a cast. People can like switch off their minds. They won't listen as much when it sounds like you have it under control. If you go like, let's say that I'm talking like this. Okay, so I'm saying that Rengar just ganked Caitlyn, and then we see Rengar, she just ganked Caitlyn, and then immediately when I say ganked, somebody will just jump in, cut me off completely. Oh shit, I spilled my tea. So as I was saying, you always need to help each other look good, but learning your strengths is so much about just looking inside yourself, finding out what you want to become better at, what you feel like you are good at, and then expanding on that. And this is basically just something that I've had a lot of trouble with, like learning my style, learning what I feel like I'm good at, learning what I feel like I'm strong at. So this is why I'm making these videos in Benvarmeren's Continuum. It's to try and help everybody else, or at least help other become better, or help people get an idea, or at least some insight in the mind of a caster. And obviously reach out to me if you want to learn more, but I'll be trying to make as much of these videos as possible, because this is always a way of like me getting a free time to talk about whatever I want to, what I feel is important, and helping people understand the mind of me. So I thank you all for watching. Hopefully you learned a little bit. I'll try to get more videos out soon. I haven't been uploading that many videos in Benvarmeren's Continuum lately. Hopefully I can fix that and start to upload a little bit more. But for now, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video, or sometime when I'm casting, because I am starting to become a little bit more of a caster, like not just someone who talks about games, but a caster that gets gigs as well. Anyways, tons of love to all you guys, tons of love, and I'll see you next time.